Hello, this video is going to describe how to record your All-State auditions using Audacity. The first thing we're going to do is install Audacity. If you go to the FEMEA website, under Programs, click All-State. Here along the right-hand side there are links to Audacity and the lame MP3 program you'll need for Audacity. Click on the Audacity link, it'll take us to the Audacity page, and just click on Download Audacity. Your version number may be different. If it asks you to record to where you want to put it, maybe put it in your Downloads folder. And then once it's there, you can just double click on it if it shows up in your browser. If it did not show up in your browser, simply open your Explorer window and navigate to your Downloads directory, and it'll be somewhere in your Downloads file. Double click on it, and the installer basically just needs the default setting, so every time just click OK or Next through the entire installation. Okay, so the setup window is done. We'll go ahead and click Finish, and Audacity will launch. I'm going to go ahead and close it though because we still need to install the lame MP3 plugin. We're going to go back to the FEMEA website, and this time I'm going to click the link that says MP3 plugin for Audacity. Lame for Windows, again your version number may be different. If you're using a Mac, you're going to click this link down at the bottom, the lame library for Audacity on OS X. Since I'm on Windows, I'll click the Windows link. Download, and again, we're saving it to my Downloads folder. When it's done, I can either click it there or go to my Downloads folder and click on the lame file that was just downloaded. Again, we're just going to click Next through the entire installation wizard. Alright, at that point we're all done. To run it, I'm going to click my Start menu and either find it in the Start menu or search for Audacity in the Windows menu. Okay, now that we have Audacity installed, we're going to just double check and make sure that the lame MP3 plugin installed correctly, and then we're going to set up our microphone to make sure that we're recording from the right source. So to start, we're going to do Edit, and then Preferences, and then click Libraries. At the very top of this window, we've got the MP3 library version, and that should say lame, and followed by the file name, or the file version. If that's missing, you're going to need to make sure you go back and follow the instructions to download and install the lame MP3 plugin. So we're good, so I'm going to click OK. And next we're going to set up our microphone. In the very middle we've got this section right here. So you've got a drop-down list next to the little microphone icon, followed by another drop-down list. The first drop-down list is where we're going to select our microphone. If you have a USB external microphone installed into your computer, when you drop down this, you should see the brand name of that USB microphone, or it might just say USB. So go ahead and select that. Mine's called the Fast Track Pro, so that's the one that I'm going to select. Yours might be different. If you're just using the internal microphone, the correct selection is probably already there for you. On the next drop-down list, it might start out by saying stereo. You want to change that to mono. Next, we're going to check our levels. To do that, we're going to pull down this little drop down right here. That little arrow, and then we're going to select Start Monitoring. If the levels are too high and they're peaking, you might need to use this slider to adjust the level. So as you move the slider to the left, towards the minus sign, you can see that the meter is moving less and less and less. Our aim is somewhere between the -12 and 0, so I'm going to keep it up a little bit higher so that as I'm speaking, that it's peaking just between the -12 and the 0 and not any higher than that. You might have a hardware control on your microphone as well, like a knob or something that you can turn to adjust this as well. Now that our input is configured, we're ready to start recording. Notice your transport controls here on the left-hand side. You got pause, play, stop, rewind, fast forward, and record. These are standard for most tape recorders or CD recorders that you're used to. All you need to do is click on the record button when you're ready to start recording, and it will automatically create a track and start recording to that track. If you need to pause, use the pause button, and you can see it will stop recording. To resume recording, hit the pause button again. So to stop recording, hit pause. To start recording again, hit pause again. If you hit stop instead of pause, when you hit record again, it's going to start recording a new track over top of what you've already recorded. In order to avoid this, place the cursor at the end of what you've already recorded by just clicking at the very end of the track. And then hit record again, and it will start recording that new track after the previous recording that you made. But to avoid this confusion, it's best to just use the pause to stop and then the pause to resume recording, and only use the stop button when you're done recording the audition. So now that we've finished recording an audition, I'm going to scroll back, and then we're going to double check to make sure that the recording recorded okay. To do that, I'm going to place the cursor anywhere I'd like to begin checking, and then just hit the play button. And then I'll jump to another place just to see, and we're just checking to make sure that the sound quality is good and that everything recorded okay. Now that I've confirmed that the recording sounds good and it's as I want it to be, I'm going to export it to an MP3 file. But to do that, we're going to go to File and then Export. Notice I'm not clicking Save or Save Project As. I'm just clicking on Export. Save as file type, we're going to select MP3. Make sure that that says MP3 files. I'm going to choose to save it on my desktop, but you might want to create a new folder. So what I'll do is create a folder saying All State Auditions, and then I'll just type the student's name. It doesn't really matter what you name your file, just make sure that you know what student goes with what file. Then when I click Save, it'll give me this warning that says that tracks will be mixed down to a single mono channel. That's okay. On this page, I don't need to enter anything, just click OK, and then it exported it. From that point, I can go check my desktop and find the file, my All-State Auditions file, and I see that the John Doe MP3 file is there. At that point, we've saved that student's file, so I'm just going to delete those tracks, and I'm ready for the next student. Click record, and we'll repeat the process for the next student.